Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm doing a sort of advanced guide to the new map Pirate Cove. It's just all the best current classic strats, getting loads of hole-in-ones, mostly hole-in-twos, and one hole-in-3 on hole 18, which is a nightmare. Used to be a hole-in-2 actually, and then Will changed it. But yeah, so it's a bit of a rush job just because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning right now and I really want to go to bed. In fact, I'm falling asleep whilst I'm doing this introduction. But yeah, all I want to say is I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find some good strats, and if you do find any better strats, then please let me know in my Discord. Link will be down below. And obviously I just want to say in advance, I will be doing a better one of these guys later on. Probably will take me 1 or 2 days to get a better version out. But in the meantime, go and check out Lotus's channel. He's got some guides up right now, and he's done all the classic jump, dunk, and super jump as well. So yeah, that's enough of an introduction. Let's get into the video, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so for hole 1, you're pretty much just going to turn and face the opposite direction, and then turn a bit left towards the right hand side of this sort of square corner piece. And what we're going to be using is actually this sort of darker bit here. So if I zoom in fully, you'll notice that it's a bit of a V shape, isn't it? So if you include this bit, and so we're going to aim at this point here, sort of the inner sort of bit of the V, and you're going to line the left hand side of your white line on that. Now what's pretty cool when it comes to power is if I zoom out 2 clicks, for me anyway, it might be different for you, is if I then bring my top of the white power bar up to the sort of white line here, I can use the top of it as my power. So as you can see, I'm lined up left hand side, the tip of my very white line is on the top here, and it works out to be about 3.1 power. And if I just release, I go in. Now I recommend you try that sort of thing, as it will definitely help you to get the powers right every time. Just look for that sort of pattern, and you'll see me do it later on for some of these other strats. Okay, so for hole 2, again, fully zoomed in, 2 clicks out. Now you go into the over position, and you're going to go straight, and then you're going to line up the very top of your white line with this sort of darker bit here, and I lined the top of my white line with the sort of top of it itself, but there is a sort of wider margin. You've got a few pixels to deal with here, but if you get the exact power right, you'll bounce once, bounce over the wooden piece, and you'll go into the hole. Okay, so hole 3, it's only going to be slightly different than the video you see, or than what you see, is because these spinners will be a bit slowed down and thus easier for you. So basically what I'm going to do is fully zoom in, 2 clicks out, go flat, and then line up the right hand side of my white line with the sort of left hand side of this black line, which is roughly there. Full power, and it'll put us here. Now this is why it's going to be easier for you, is because as you can see, these are quite quick for me. But nonetheless, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go 3 power directly forward pretty much, and then maybe like 1 or 2 pixels right, and then release just after one of these spinner bits passes this center line. Now, it might take me a few tries, and so I'll just cut to the attempt where I get it right now. And there you go. It's quite hard, as you can see, but with a bit of practice I'm sure you'll be able to get it, and especially with the slower rotating time, it should be easier to get a dead on time for you. Hole 4 is a really easy strat. It's a full power strat. Now basically if I just go into the O position and then just go full power straight forward, you can see that in line with where I'm aiming at the top of my screen is sort of a dark green square, and at the very top of it you'll see there's a sort of thick black sort of smudge. So if I just come in a bit and show you, we're using this sort of bit here. So what you're going to do is go flat or not flat, whatever you want to do, just go full power at the center of it, maybe like a pixel left, and then just release so you don't hit one of those lovely fishes, and you will go in. Okay, hole 5 is all about power and aim, as most holes are actually, but it's a bit harder. I can easily get a 2 every time, but it's just getting the 1 is a bit difficult. So basically we're going to be aiming through this sort of corner at the top of my airline. It's not this corner here, it's like this sort of little rectangle thing here. It's basically there. Alternately, you can see here it's a bit of like a flat rectangle. The white thing, it goes like down and then up and down again on both up and lower, and it's just quite easy to use at the center of that. But anyway, to get the power, I'm just going to go fully in and then 2 clicks out, aiming to the left towards the left hand side of the hole 5 sign. And we're just going to aim at it, bring the power down to the edge of this dark bit here, and go 3 pixels of power more. Aim at where I said, and then if you get it right, you should go in like so. It's quite hard, a lot of practice. It's definitely it's probably my least favorite hole. It's so hard to get it consistently, but hopefully there it should both help you and me. Okay, for hole 6, we're going to be using the fact that on each square you've got this very thick dark line sort of shade in between, and then you've got this sort of lighter green bit on either side, as you can see like around here. And so we're going to be using that. So what you're going to do is you're going to zoom in a bit. Now I go 2 clicks out because that means my line is always solid. That's the only reason I do it most of the time. And you can see 3 squares up, 2.5 squares left, you've got this point here. Now you can just see a faint sort of the lighter sort of dark green, and you're just going to go at that intersection at 3 power. So right there, 3 power, and then if you get it right, you'll bounce off this wall and then you'll go in. Okay, so hole 7 is more about the power really. The aim is kind of important, but not as much, as there's quite a wide area you can aim, and also, to be fair, a wide power, but it's a sort of combination that makes this hole. The power has to go with a bit of sort of a certain aim. And so basically what I do is I aim at the end of this dark line here, so there, and then if I fully zoom in and go 2 clicks out again, then what I can do is use the top sort of left of my white power bar is on this darker bit here, sort of where it touches the lighter bit, so like so. It works out to be about 3.15, I'd say, power. You bounce off the hole 7 sign itself, and then you'll go in. Okay, so hole 8, what you're going to do is you're going to go flat, and all you're going to go at full power at basically, you see where there's a difference between dark here and light here. You're basically just aiming at the center of that at full power. You do a couple bounces around and you'll end up here. Now this spot to get in from here is really easy. All you're going to do is aim just sort of left of this square pillar at 1.5 power. As you can see, after bouncing on 2 walls, we go into the hole. Okay, so hole 9 is a really simple 2. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to go full power at the intersection on the sort of these 2 wooden pieces over here. Full power directly at it, and if you get the sort of right pixel or so, then you'll end up directly in front of the flag, sort of here. But obviously I've just got the 1 pixel, but it's not a massive difference. And now from here I just go 1 power, add the flag, and as you can see it's a really easy hole in 2. Okay, for hole 10, really easy. You're just going to aim left of this sort of centerpiece and roughly to about halfway, sort of in between that margin, just making sure your ball won't hit this center target. And your power is just going to be in line with the right hand side of E. As you can see, we'll just fall off the edge here, and you're basically wanting to end up around here. Now, as you can see the bucket in front of you, and just like it's got a sort of spike going through the center of it, we're just going to aim at the center of that spike at about 2.1 power. Now, you can increase this power and actually decrease it to about 2, I believe, maybe a bit less, but 2.1 will get you in all the time. Hole 11, one of the more simpler holes. All you're going to do is you're just going to go full power at the intersection on the wall here. Directly at it, full power. You bounce off a few walls, bounce off the back wall, then go in. Okay, so hole 12 is like probably one of the harder holes, definitely probably top 3 on this map, but once you get used to it, it's actually not that hard because it's mainly just about timing. The aim's fairly easy. All you're going to do is, you see here at the tip of my line there's a bit of a ball sticking out. If I just go into free cam I can show you better. That sort of U shape is basically where we're aiming. So I go a bit more flat about there just so I can see the cannon clearly. Full power directly at it, like so, and then you just release just before the ball sort of disappears on the cannon. So now, then if you get it right, you'll bounce up there, and then a few different combinations. So as you can see, I got quite a thick bounce that launched me up in the air, and occasionally you'll sort of come around here and bounce off the wall and then go in. That's definitely more common. But even then, if you do miss, you'll either end up around there or even end up around here, where you can just do sort of like 3 power directly a flag, or so maybe like 2 power from here. I would say definitely likely to get a 2. Oh my god, I just noticed this glitch. But yeah, easy hole in 2 or 1. Okay, so hole 13 is quite hard to get every time, but normally if you miss, you should end up with a 2 about sort of 60-70% of the time you miss. Otherwise you'll just get reset to the start. And so basically what I do is line up the left hand side of my white line with the right hand side of this darker bit here, and to get the power right I fully zoom in, click out twice, and then line up the tip of my white line with where this sort of top of the ramp meets this wall here, and then maybe go like a pixel or so above. And then basically what I do is I press my free cam button, which puts me into free cam, release my left click, and then press C again, and as you can see my power bar is locked in place. It is meant to be that. I've asked Will about it and he's said it's perfectly fine. Now you line up the left hand side up, and so we'll go 1 right, left click to release the ball, and as you can see I go into the hole. Okay, so hole 14, other than the fact that the free cam currently faces backwards, what you're going to do is you're going to turn around 180 degrees, you're going to go 3 power, 4 squares up, 2.5 right, pretty much at the far side of the darker line here. Now there's hundreds of ways to do this shot, but the ideal place you want to land is just down here. So I mean there's hundreds, there's 4 power. I've changed my strat about 8 times on that first one. And now for the second shot you're going to go about 2.1 power, just into the gap, preferably closer to the right side so you don't actually miss the ball, and then you just release when the second one of these pops up. So now And as you can see, 2.1 power gets me gracefully into the hole, and there you go. Okay, so kindly I've been allowed to use Snowboarder 1987's video of him getting a hole-in-one. He said it really hard, but he said it's not a glitch. He's got it a few times, but I just don't really have the time to put it in just yet. I will be looking tomorrow because of a few changes to the hole. I'll be trying to find another way to get the hole-in-one, a more consistent hole-in-one. But nonetheless, here's his video, and hopefully you can try and replicate it. Okay, so for hole 16, and I'm sure you'll see in like Lotus's video and stuff, you can actually go full power straight forward twice, or maybe even going sort of like 3.5 power forward and then full power. But my only issue with that is if you don't get the perfect lining up with the hole, and the second one you don't just go straight in, you do end up sort of ending up on the outside rim of the hole itself. So instead I'm going to show you a different way, and it's up to you which way you want to use. I'm probably just going to stick to this way just for now, as it seems to be a bit more consistent. So what I'm going to do is just zoom in 2 clicks out again just to get to my normal spot, and we're going to go 2 squares right, 5 up, and then we're going to use the far side like about there, full power through that point, and then just release. And now what happens is you get over here and end up around this spot. Now all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go 2 power directly at the flag, and what you'll see is I just hit the curb and then it sort of launches me into that wall and back into the sort of dip, and I get in. Okay, so hole 17, really precise, 1 pixel of aim. Basically what you're going to do is zoom in fully, maybe go out like 1 click or so, and you're going to aim at this point here with the right side of your white line on it, and just go 2, 3 pixels left. If you get it right, you should be going down the right path here, and thanks to a change from Will, it does go straight into the hole and gets you a hole-in-one. It is very precise. I recommend you practice. Unfortunately, I'm recording this just before that occlusion is being fixed. But yeah, there you go. Okay, so hole 18, I'm going to roughly show you how to get a consistent 3, but more likely it's just going to be a place to just get you over to that final platform, where you can hopefully get a 3 or a 4, or at least somewhere on the par. This hole will be changed in the future. I know it's thinking of getting changed soon, but I'm not 100% sure just yet. So for the first shot, what we're going to be doing is we'll be aiming at this. You see a fainter line here. We're going to be aiming about 3.85 power at it. Release just when the tentacle's done its thing. So now, just as it goes up, and it puts you over here. Now, what you're going to do is, although you might think aim directly at the flag, we're actually going to aim a bit more right. So almost sort of, you see this sort of dot above my line now, like at the edge of the square, that's where we're going to aim, just because if we end up going here, we end up going further left, so we want a more direct approach on this jump, and we're just going to release once the tentacle's done its thing. Now as you can see, it puts me here. I've got a decent chance to get the hole-in-3. You can end up over here if you aim more left, obviously, but then you have to watch out for this tentacle, which can hit you off. But from here, we're going to go 2.5, probably should go a bit less, but 2.5 does work most of the time. And as you can see, even with a bit of lag, I do go in for a hole-in-3. Okay, I know it was a bit of a rush job, but it's just because they're releasing the map early, or I guess late at night for me, and I'm really tired and I want to go to bed. but I think it's a decent start. I can get this out immediately so you can see what the situation is just like now. And then over the next couple of days, I'm going to sort of get into more precise getting a classic beginner's guide, jump, super jump, and dunk. But in the meantime, if you just go and check out Lotus's videos, he's done all of them. I mean, they've not been released as I'm recording this, so telling them that they're good could be probably wrong. Yeah, it is Lotus after all. But anyway, I'll leave his and Snow's channel below. Just go and check them out. They've done a lot of work in helping me find some of the strats. And yeah, if you find any good strats, more consistent strats, then do please let me know. I'm always looking. In Discord, there's a actual golf with your friends strats sort of tab. So please enter all your strats in there, as I'm always looking for some decent ones. But yeah, anyway, cheers for watching. Hope these helped a bit, and I'll see you for a better job next time.